Hi.
Hey, hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
Do you want to talk about what's going on?
Well, it was funny. Like, you just got home. I just got here. It's been a long day.
It has been a really long
Every day is a long day.
We started opening the market an hour early for strawberry season because we have an early strawberry season, which actually is really exciting because we don't normally get it this early. And if it's this early, it's usually not good.
No, I think we're going to actually have a really long season.
Yeah, which is great. Except guess what? We opened the market an hour earlier. Guess who gets to go do that? This girl. So Tom is living his best life this week on a golf trip. And
Hi, Tom.
So I had to get the kids off this
Danna
morning.
appreciates you because your absence at home has been noted.
Yeah. That I had to get Joey to school. That was it.
Oh, well, Joe was in a real mood today.
He was in a real
mood. He had
mood.
to get up early. He didn't get his routine. Now, Joe is scrubbing the dishes and loading the dishwasher.
Still
How
in a
is
mood.
that? That's so nice.
He's in a bad mood. So it's been a long day. That's it. It's just been a long day. We had our softball
and it's only
banquet.
Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday. I am already over the week. So I just got home from, what is this? I left the house 14 hours ago. I just got home. We have to podcast really quick because it's late. And Kristin came over, ready for bed.
I did because we didn't eat dinner until like 7:45, and then I decided I had to have a shower.
I've not done that yet today, so that's cool.
Yeah, I had to get a shower. That was kind of a disaster from the barn and just the day.
And now you have stickers all over your forehead.
Oh, I'm wearing my Frownies, but you can't even really tell because they're neutral.
Nope, you could tell. It looks like you have Band-Aids all over your head.
I can't even see. Let me see. Well, I can't see. Up close, can you see them?
Yeah, everyone can see them.
I mean, they're there.
They're there.
Listen,
you look like you have bandages.
My husband doesn't even notice them.
Well, he's old and blind. I don't know what to tell you. Those look like you have bandages all over you, like butterfly bandages all over your head.
It's my Frownies. It's keeping me youthful. Listen, I gotta look good.
I can't. Just get some Botox.
This is the all-natural way to do it, Danna.
Okay, said the girl that got Botox.
I was just saying, I've had Botox before. I'm not hiding that.
Oh, my goodness. What else is going on?
Okay, so strawberries started. We have delicious berries in the market. There have been so many questions on the internet. The most asked question, do you use chemicals, pesticides on your strawberries? It's always a pretty big question. I feel like it is more prevalent this year. So I want to talk about it. And I know these things bore you to death.
Well, this doesn't bother me.
So I feel like it's very important, though, that we talk about food safety in America because we live in a country that has the safest food system. While I always say when we have like safety recalls and alerts on food, not great for the companies, but really good for us consumers.
Yeah, because they're monitoring it.
Right. So I said I'm going to put on my like former life local farm mom hat and have a conversation. So there's this thing called the Dirty Dozen. Have you ever heard of it?
I have.
So
pesticides, right?
The Environmental Working Group, which is a very, very, I don't care what your political affiliation is, but they would be very dark. I feel like they, in some situations, want you to fear your food, which is what I always hate. So anytime you put something in your mouth, don't laugh at me, Danna, it's a risk. It's a risk. Anytime something enters your body, it's a risk. So anytime you put a food in your mouth,
let that be a life lesson to you people.
You're potentially taking a risk. So strawberries are almost always number one on the Dirty Dozen list. Should you eat strawberries? Should you not eat strawberries? Are they going to hurt you? Do you know how many strawberries? Let's say that we in our strawberry farm were not responsible users and maintainers of our environment, our soils, and our food. I mean, it would take so much irresponsibility and you'd have to eat so many strawberries to even have a residue in your system.
So I do think that sometimes customers, and whether or not even just customers, just you hear people, everyone hears people,
I don't know an organic, so then we'll talk about that next, but I don't even know of a farm in our Ohio.
No, that is an organic farm.
But not even organic. They use chemicals too.
So that's what I was just going to say. That's
Mm-hmm.
actually what I was going to say is people will be like, oh, I only eat organic. That's actually not true.
Well, if they only eat organic, that's fine. But a lot of times people only eat organic
But you eat organic with the thought that
it
it has no chemical usage.
or pesticides.
And that is not true.
There are over 300 actually that
are
approved.
allowed to be used that are still considered
Which
organic.
is a lot that we use too.
For sure. Mm-hmm. But it does make me crazy when these people are like, oh my gosh, you use sprays? Yes. And what we use is completely safe and, within guidelines that are allowed. And if you look, it's probably the same things that are being used in what is labeled organic that you're eating right now.
Could be, yes.
And if you ate something that was truly did not have anything sprayed on it, it probably would. Very rarely does it actually make it to your table. That's what I was just going to say.
You wouldn't have a crop. Strawberries especially. So there are some things, but strawberries especially. So I always laugh because, we use the manure from especially rabbits. Like rabbit manure is very, very good for your soils.
Mm-hmm. Make sure that you say you use that at like your house, your rabbit
we
manure.
do. So this is my story. Like I use it in my flower beds when I'm getting flowers started. We actually have friends who they put it in a burlap sack and they use it as a tea bag and they water it. And the water that comes through is what they use to water their garden. Totally fine with that. But I always think like sometimes, and I know farmers who actually put that directly onto their crop. Mm-hmm. Like that would be more concerning.
That's a little yuckier to me than.
Yeah.
So people always ask like, do you need to wash the berries first? And I mean, you should always wash your fruit if that's what you want to do. But like, I am totally comfortable with eating one of our berries directly out of the field.
Yeah, we eat our fruit out of the field too. I mean, and technically you should wash everything because like we have geese.
Well, and
birds,
not only that, like
deer, raccoons.
That's what I was just going to say. Like
chipmunks.
Like there's just bugs in the world or animals in the world that like trample through and walk right through. Yeah,
it's always great to wash your produce. And, rinsing them in like room temperature water, vinegar.
But I'm not doing that because of the pesticides. I need that to be clear. Like I'm not washing. I don't feel like, I need to wash these pesticides off. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
But you'd have to eat a lot of strawberries. So I feel like 99% of the population just wants to be aware, and I love an educated consumer.
For sure.
So it's great to ask these questions. No question is a silly question. There are some people that are just negative people who really just, and all my traveling and speaking all over. I mean, this is what we did. We want people to not fear their food. If you don't buy organic this and you don't buy organic that, you are no less of a good mom. You're nor are you less of a good consumer. Like,
be
an educated consumer.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people are just driven, because I haven't Googled it in a long time, but I Googled like pesticide use in strawberries today. There are scary things that come up. Where are all the real truths? Like everybody likes to hear the scary story. And I was a part of this program and it was called, basically it was comparing your morning coffee cup to pesticide herbicide use in crops. And to spray a whole entire football field, it would be like, that's a latte. So your morning cup of coffee, that's how much of a chemical would be used to treat the entire football field because it's mixed in water.
Right.
It's a lot of water.
It's diluted.
The other thing is farmers don't like to use things in their field that they don't have to because it costs money. We call them inputs. It costs more money. Nobody wants to spend more money than they have to, and they want to save crop. So ask the questions, be an informed consumer. And strawberries, they're not going to kill you, even though they lead the Dirty Dozen list.
I think there is always something to be said for like knowing where your food comes from.
That's nice.
And, whatever. But I don't care what you say. Like, it tastes better when it comes right out of the field.
So it's a different variety of strawberries. So the strawberries that come out of California, come out of Florida.
Right. And if you're going to get it, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to get it at the grocery store in the middle of December, it's definitely,
And they're developed to be shipped, right? Because they have to grow a variety that can handle and be firm. Where ours aren't going to hold up really as long because they're like fresh. Believe me, I have processed a lot of berries today. I made a lot of jam.
So much jam.
I maybe got carried away.
That's an understatement. If anyone
a little
needs
carried
jam,
away.
holy cow, is there jam?
I made a lot of jam because we had these berries that we only like to sell like very good quality. And so they just weren't quite up to snuff. So we eat the not up to snuff stuff.
I brought home some today
them.
that were what would be considered not up to snuff, as you're saying. And I'm like, oh my God, they look perfect to me. But like,
yeah,
they're not perfect, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, they're perfect for jam. And they're fine for my family.
Yeah. Like
they're good enough for us.
They're totally fine.
So,
I don't know.
But very interesting. So the Dirty Dozen, it's an education to read it, to look it up and to see. Like you shouldn't be eating lots of different things that we all love to eat according to them.
I don't know.
Spinach is number 2 in case you want to.
I actually don't love spinach.
Spinach does have a lot of recalls. But again, be thankful for those recalls.
Yeah. I don't really love spinach. I only like it.
I like a spinach bacon feta salad with a mustard vinaigrette.
I don't love eating like spinach salad. That's not my favorite. I would actually rather eat like cooked spinach. I like cooked spinach.
I like that too. I make these little like appetizers that have fontina cheese with spinach in these little cups. And growing up, one of my best friend's moms used to make spinach cookies, but they weren't really cookies. It was like a side dish. Mm-hmm. Man, do I love them. They remind me of your asparagus patties that you guys make, which are so weird and so good.
They're so weird. Actually, we have so much asparagus in the market right now. I should make them.
Well, speaking of asparagus, I just planted some. I was out digging trenches, planting my asparagus a little behind.
You brought some here.
I brought some to Joe.
I don't know where we're going. He hates asparagus.
It doesn't matter if he hates it. It's fun to grow.
Like you.
But he likes to garden, and it's a fun thing to grow.
He does love to garden.
He can grow it for you.
So
for your
I'm excited
patties.
that you brought over some sunflower seeds because a couple years ago we planted a few sunflowers in our front bed, and they grew. I'm not exaggerating. Like we had like 6 foot, 7 foot tall sunflowers. They were so
These are mammoths. Cool. They can grow up to 12 feet.
Yeah, it's so neat. And so, and now is the time. They say June or like past the first
we just
frost.
planted ours today.
So Joey and I will do that tomorrow when he gets home from school. That's exciting. He'll be really pumped about that. And this time of year you can plant it right into the ground, ready to roll.
For sure. So I mentioned a chipmunk earlier. I don't even know if you know this story.
I only heard because your daughter and your husband were on the phone with Olivia yesterday.
Yeah.
And she told us.
So we have this great cat. Her name's Scarlett, who I love her to death.
I know.
She kills chipmunks for us every day. One day she killed 4. Very proud of her. So the door got left open into our house, and I forget what was... Oh, this was like Memorial Day. We had our family reunion, and we had come home to do chores, and all of a sudden I'm in the music room and there's stuff all over the floor. Like Sam had got a new computer monitor and the box is there. And all of a sudden I see our barn cat rip roar in the garage door, around the corner, into the music room. And like, we have a mouse in our house. I'm like, it's not a mouse, it's a chipmunk. So I'm not sure if she chased it in, if she had it in her mouth, or it came in and then she saw it and she went after it. But that cat was in beast mode.
So did she get it?
Well, twice, but then it wiggled around so much, she dropped it twice. So Campbell called Bill and we're like, we have a chipmunk at our house. And so I said, it has to be in here because she was like smelling, prowling. I mean, like I've never seen the cat behave before. Or like it's in here somewhere. So I'm like creating a barrier, but I had to go do chores. So Campbell was studying for a test and she calls and she's like, I think she's got it cornered. So then Bill came in, the two of them saw where it was. It came out, the cat caught it again, running around the music room. We're pretty sure it hit the like inside the bass drum and then back out again. And so then it ran into our office. So I missed this part. It was just Campbell and Bill, but they're like chasing a chipmunk through our house. And got it into the office. The office has 2 doors that shut. So the chipmunk, the cat, Bill, and Campbell are shut in the office.
Which really, though, the chipmunk could probably get out if it wanted to.
The office?
Yeah, like even if the doors were
big
closed.
Chipmunk. I don't think it was going anywhere. So we have these old sap buckets as our trash cans. So Campbell saw the chipmunk, took the bucket, put it over the chipmunk. Chipmunk inside. So then they went and got a piece of cardboard out of the office and slid it under and got it outside. The chipmunk was in our house for a good over an hour.
So it was funny also, well, because Bill told me again about it today because there was one that kept pacing outside the garage door of the market. And
it was probably the same one, traumatized.
We thought for sure it was going to come in, but it never did.
we don't really have many things that come in the market. Like a bird flew in.
Twice in the last week, a bird has flown in the market.
And it never has before.
This has never happened
chipmunks.
before. Never. We leave the garage door totally open. No bird. I think I've worked there 5 or 6 years. 5 years, I think. There has literally never been a bird fly in there. And twice in the last week.
And Danna loves birds, in case you didn't notice.
Birds. In fact, some lady thought I was crazy because I screamed so loud. But I do not like birds. Do not like them.
So, we're a real wild animal zoo at our house and our barn. And
also, I've decided, speaking of animals, that one of the other reasons that I don't like Tom being gone right now is I have to be the one to feed the dogs.
Okay, let's discuss your dogs and their feeding regimen.
Inconvenience.
What was Tom feeding the dogs the other day that I'm like, you're feeding your dogs this? What is it?
We feed them dinner, we give them their dog food, and then we put canned pumpkin on top of it.
Okay, I knew the pumpkin. There was something else.
Which, P.S., canned pumpkin makes your dog's poops hard so that if they need their anal glands expressed, it does it automatically. And then we add
Who's gross here?
Shredded cheddar on top.
Yeah, shredded cheddar. That's what it was. It was like you're making a dog salad. Well, what's with the cheddar? What's that do?
Millie is a grazer and Ozzy is like, he'll just like go to town like crazy. So if you put both their bowls down, Ozzy will eat his and Millie's, and Millie will not eat at all. And by the time she moseys on over, it's gone. So if you entice her with all the good stuff in her bowl, she will eat it quicker, and then she will eat.
Do you think does she get to eat it all? This sounds like market lambs, like in sheep, and we just pen them separately and feed them.
We think she's eating most
Maybe you should tie her up or tie Ozzy up.
Have you seen Ozzy?
Tie Ozzy up. Tie him to your table, and then
he'll drag the table. Like, it's been working for the last 2 years, so we'll just keep going.
You've been giving her cheddar for 2 years?
She's never not had cheddar in her food.
Really?
Yeah, our old dog always got cheddar too.
Alice? Who used to hang her collar from your car?
From my car.
Like your little car hangs the dead dog's collar.
Well, because the night that I took her to get put down, I stuck it there and I never took it down. I still have the same car, which is really a testament that I probably need a new car by now.
You do think you need a new car
for a long time.
If Danna has a new car or has a car for more than 4 years, she gets itchy.
I've ever had a car.
She can't handle it.
But I'm probably going to have to keep this one for a while because it's about to be paid
Well,
off.
have you priced a car? Because used cars are expensive. New cars are expensive.
We actually just priced out a car.
And car interest rates are not great.
Olivia told us that she wants this car, and so we were like,
what does she want?
She wants a Bronco.
Oh, that's what Campbell was.
Yeah,
like,
and so we priced it just like for shits and giggles.
And kicks and giggles.
Kicks and giggles. And yeah.
How much is a new Bronco?
Well, we looked at
but you have to get the big one. You can't get the little one.
Right, and we would want the one that the top could come off because then I would drive it for like a fun car too. Listen, we can't.
This isn't about Olivia.
We cannot share clothes like you and your daughter can, but we could share a car. All right.
We all share cars at our house. It's like, oh,
I understand that, but at our house, we don't share many things. Like you will buy $100 pair of pants and be like, "It's really only 50 because Campbell's wearing them and I'm wearing them."
The more you wear them, the cheaper they get.
Correct. I do not have that luxury. Literally, there is like nothing. No part of my body is the same as my daughter's.
Olivia would look so tiny driving a big Bronco too.
She'd look cute.
Well, she'd look cute.
She'd look cute.
It's a big car for her.
It's not the same. It's smaller than my car.
Is it?
Oh my gosh, yeah. It doesn't have a third row or anything.
No, but they look wide.
It's fine.
So are you a proponent of this now?
Oh, I have been a proponent. I was the one that brought it up to Tom and Tom is not against it. But like for a base model where I think she would literally have to wind up the windows, it's like over $300 a month still. And this is
a brand new one?
Yeah. Yeah. Because we were like, well, maybe we'll lease her a car. This was our thought. Maybe we will lease her a car because like we thought it might be less money because leases are a little bit lower. But it would just depend. Like my kids are not getting new cars. I just need to like put that out there. Like that's not happening.
We're about to have another driver. I mean, in December, Jack will drive.
So I'm 6 months behind you then. So I have a while still. Like we have a whole year. So I'm not really stressing about it.
It's not even just the car. Like it's the car. It's the insurance.
Gas.
Sam wants to take a car to college this fall. To send a car to college is very expensive insurance-wise.
I'm sure it is.
When you price it.
Yep.
Then you got to get the car. Then you got to pay the cheapest parts, paying for the parking, because of course they have to park clear on the other side, because to park close would be like $1,400.
Bill and I were having this conversation because I said that whatever we get Olivia, Sam and Olivia are exactly 2 years almost to the day apart. So as soon as Olivia goes off to college, Sam will get his driver's license and he'll just drive whatever she had. And he's like, I thought that's what we were going to do. It bought me 1 extra year.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced. Like, my parents have the perfect vehicle for us to buy. And it's not just the car. I mean, it adds up. It's significant. Yeah,
for sure. So
kids are expensive.
But at the same time, like I know a lot of people who do not, help their kid. And we would make Olivia help pay for whatever we get. But I do know a lot of people that are like, well, we can't afford another car or whatever. And I totally understand that. Tom and I have discussed this in depth, and it is very important to us to try and figure out a way to get her a car, even if it's some means of transportation.
Well, it's going to make your life
purely because it will make
easier.
our life easier. Yeah. So her and Sam are on the same campus, so like she can help drive her brother to school, to activities.
Oh yeah, so nice.
She with volleyball, she literally on the other side of town, where at least if it's at school stuff, that's one thing. But when she plays volleyball, it's like 25 minutes from our house. Like,
you could share a car with your daughter. For sure. She could drop you off at work early in the morning and pick you up.
That would be fine with me. Or she could drive my car when I want to drive hers.
Let's face it. Olivia's going to end up with a car.
It's the only thing that will fit both of us.
I vote for the Bronco.
Yeah, it's not happening, but me too.
It's a great idea.
Love it.
Until next time, friends, we're mismatched.